I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City.
So embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., known for never losing a boxing match and living a flashy lifestyle, recently made a big real estate move. He bought more than 60 apartment buildings in New York City, mostly in Upper Manhattan, for $42 million.
What I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners.
This purchase is part of a larger $10 billion real estate project and is one of the biggest property deals in New York City in recent years.
So Floyd is just piecing him up. Boxed up by literally the greatest boxer of all time. Floyd was just boxing him up, which is what he does. So that's what's interesting is Floyd's making more money than anybody, and he's boxing people who have no chance of beating him. It doesn't even hurt his record. Also money. He needs that money. That money has to keep coming in if you're going to live like this.
It's not that expensive, though, but...
He's only 46. But he does this with everything, man. He's got $1 million watches.
I don't think he buys every pair.
You think they give them to him?
Yeah, because then you get a video like that.
Right. That's smart.
And then you get Floyd's Air Force Ones given away for charity. That's a tax write-off. There's all sorts of things that goes into
Yeah, you
that.
got a good point. But those $1 million watches, they're not giving you those.
Mayweather's interest in affordable housing comes from his tough childhood, which motivates him to help families in need. His real estate company, Vita Properties, has worked with major industry players and helped him invest in big-name buildings like Chicago's AON Center and the old post office building. However, some people are questioning whether Mayweather's real estate claims are fully true. Property records don't show that he officially owns the New York buildings, and experts think he might have only bought a small share with plans to invest more later. Vita Properties hasn't confirmed the details, which raises doubts about how much of the story is accurate.
Come on.
Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s business activities have faced criticism because of his connection to Jonah Rechnitz, a convicted felon involved in a federal corruption case. Rechnitz, a real estate developer and former associate of New York City's jail union leader Norman Seabrook, pleaded guilty in 2016 to bribing Seabrook. He later helped federal investigators as a witness. Mayweather has called Rechnitz an important supporter in his business efforts, including real estate. For example, Mayweather said he made a $42 million deal to buy 62 apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. However, property records don't show any official transfer of ownership, leading experts to believe he may have only bought a small share with the option to invest more in the future.
First investment was real estate, commercial real estate, skyscrapers actually. So what I did was this. It started off with $5 million. Put up $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month. On every 18th, every month, it was paying off.
You like the cash flow?
Yes, for years. So I said, okay, if it's paying off like this then, and I gave him 7 figures, I said I'm not gonna even give him 8 figures. I went and gave him 9 figures. If it's something that I know is paying off, lucrative and heavy, I gotta go with it. Roll the dice, take a chance. You only got one life.
Mayweather Jr.'s journey from an exciting boxer to the flashy money Mayweather shows a smart shift toward making money and building his brand. At first, he was known for his fast, exciting style in the ring, but over time, he focused more on defense, staying undefeated, and showing off his wealth. He even took on the nickname Money to reflect his focus on getting rich. Joe Rogan, a well-known UFC commentator and podcast host, has talked about Mayweather's career and spending habits. On his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan pointed out that Mayweather spends a lot of money and likely does exhibition fights to keep up his expensive lifestyle. Rogan said, "He spends so much money. If he's planning for the future, you've got to keep it coming in if you're going to keep spending the way he spends."
Floyd went from being like a really exciting pressure fighter and he had a bunch of hand problems to like Money Mayweather, start talking boxing people's faces off. No more hand problems, much more money.
Yeah, I love what he's doing too, beating up these YouTube guys.
It's crazy.
I love it.
It's so funny that these guys are willing to get beat up by him.
Well, I think they're all delusional.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
Rumors have been spreading that Floyd Mayweather Jr. might be facing financial problems, with some claiming he's unable to leave Dubai because of unpaid debts. These claims gained attention when Gervonta Davis, a former protege of Mayweather, hinted on social media that Mayweather was stuck in Dubai due to money issues he hadn't settled. Boxing agent Rick Glazer also supported the idea, suggesting that Mayweather's long stay in Dubai could be tied to financial troubles. However, it's important to treat these claims carefully. While some insiders have spoken publicly about the situation, there's no solid proof that Mayweather is being held or forced to stay in Dubai. Mayweather hasn't responded to these specific rumors, and without official confirmation, the real status of his finances is still unclear.
I'm speechless if this is true, but Floyd Mayweather supposedly is held hostage in Dubai. Gervonta Davis suggested this, who I believe is signed under Floyd Mayweather. Then Floyd responded back of posting a video of Tank dancing on his IG, saying, "We always knew he had sugar in the tank." Like, actually, that's insane posting this online. I'm not even kidding. And then Tank went on his IG story to say this.
You owe them people over in Dubai that money. Tell them get on live right now. And you owe people in Saudi Arabia.
And Floyd responded back saying he should fight Shakur instead. I have no clue what is going on with this beef, but they're basically saying that Floyd Mayweather is broke and owes people money and he's hiding in Dubai. I'm actually speechless if any of that is remotely true, but I kind of can see that coming. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Logan Paul and Jake Paul, like 2 years ago, said that Floyd is actually broke. And it low-key might be true, but we'll see what happens.
Reports have suggested that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has, at times, bought expensive items without fully paying for them, leading to issues with sellers and creditors. One well-known case happened in 2021 when Leonard Suleimanov, owner of Lenso and Company, sued Mayweather. Suleimanov claimed that Mayweather bought several luxury watches and jewelry pieces worth over $4 million but didn't pay the full amount, leaving a balance of about $3.88 million. This kind of spending, buying costly items and then delaying or skipping full payments, could point to risky financial habits. Relying on credit and postponed payments can lead to problems with creditors and may put long-term financial health at risk. Despite this, Mayweather has been one of the highest-paid athletes ever. For example, he reportedly made about $275 million from his 2017 fight with Conor McGregor, one of the biggest paydays in sports history. Still, some of his earnings claims have raised eyebrows. He once said he made $350 million in one night, but former MMA fighter and commentator Chael Sonnen questioned that, calling the claim exaggerated and meant more for publicity. Whether or not the numbers are fully accurate, it's clear that Mayweather's financial success comes largely from how well he promotes himself and lines up big-money fights. The conflicting reports about his earnings also show how hard it can be to get exact financial details in the boxing world.
How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
What do you do with all this money?
And, you know, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
Floyd Mayweather's constant bragging about his wealth might seem like just flashy self-promotion, but it raises a deeper question. Why does he feel the need to exaggerate? Mayweather has built his entire image around being financially untouchable, often repeating the idea that his money has no limits. But when people like Chael Sonnen publicly challenge those claims, it makes us wonder, does Mayweather care more about looking rich than actually being rich? It suggests that his brand may rely more on the image of success than the reality behind it. In a world where perception often shapes power and influence, especially in entertainment and sports, Mayweather's focus on appearing wealthy could be just as important to him as his real financial status.
First off, he's never gotten $100 million for a fight. There's reports that he was the highest paid athlete over Christian Ronaldo.
You think it's bullshit?
I know it is.
So if you had to guess, what do you think's the most Floyd ever made in a fight?
Oh, I think that Floyd's, he's probably made about 60 million before in one night. But no, there's 100 million, 130 million. They just didn't have. I know that Floyd is still getting in there as recently as this weekend because he needed the money.
You think he blew through all of his money?
I'm claiming for you, he in his whole career has made about 100 million. People think he made 130 in a night. I'm sharing with you, he didn't. No boxer's ever made 130 million in one night.
In June 2021, Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought YouTuber-turned-boxer Logan Paul in a highly hyped exhibition match at Miami's Hard Rock Stadium. The event was a big financial success, reportedly bringing in over $80 million. Mayweather earned about $65 million, while Paul made around $15 million. However, a disagreement followed. Logan Paul claims Mayweather still owes him between $2 million and $5 million, saying he hasn't been fully paid. Frustrated, Paul stated, "No, he has not paid me in full, that is a fact," and even said he plans to take legal action. "We're taking this one to court. See you in the courtroom. Congrats on going to prison, Floyd." Mayweather, on the other hand, has denied the claims, calling them false and suggesting Paul is just trying to get more attention. He responded, "This is the guy who said he didn't get paid," which we know is truly false. The situation has led to public back and forths. Logan's brother, Jake Paul, also criticized Mayweather, especially after hearing about payment issues from Logan. Jake mocked Mayweather's demands for future fights, calling them unrealistic if he couldn't settle payments from past ones. Adding another layer to the issue, Showtime, the network that aired the fight, said it fulfilled its payment duties to Mayweather Promotions, the company in charge of paying the fighters. This implies that if there's a problem, it may be on Mayweather's side, not Showtime's.
Boxers, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor, not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
I just believe.
In several interviews, sports analyst Stephen A. Smith has expressed discomfort with Floyd Mayweather's exhibition match strategy. While he agreed that fighting Conor McGregor made sense because of McGregor's combat sports background, Smith drew the line at Mayweather picking opponents who weren't on his level just to make easy money. According to Smith, this approach hurt Mayweather's legacy, an image he worked hard to build. Smith argued that Mayweather seemed more focused on stacking cash than preserving his place in boxing history. The idea became clear when Smith directly asked Mayweather, "What matters more, your money or your legacy?" Mayweather's answers, which always circled back to money and business, made Smith and others feel that Mayweather was prioritizing wealth over the respect that comes with a lasting legacy. This money-driven focus has influenced the newer generation of athletes, according to Smith. He argued that today's up-and-coming fighters admire Mayweather more for his bank account and persona than for his boxing skills, footwork, or ring intelligence. Smith believes this sends a harmful message, that money is more important than mastery, and risks diminishing the sport's integrity, which Mayweather once represented. Promoter Eddie Hearn has also questioned Mayweather's claimed $1 billion fortune. Even though Mayweather topped Forbes' list with earnings of over £700 million by 2019, there are concerns about his financial stability after retirement. Mayweather's ongoing participation in exhibition matches against various personalities has led some to speculate that his lavish spending habits could have drained his wealth. However, Mayweather insists that these exhibition fights are about personal enjoyment, not financial need.
I think they get told that I'm a bad guy, but then all of a sudden, like, you meet these people and you spend time with them, and they're like, it's like Mayweather. It was the same thing. Like, when I went in the gym, he was like, I heard you said this, heard you said that. And then I kind of just go into my flow, and in the end, he's kind of looking at me going, you're actually all right. I'm like, yeah. And the same was with Shakur. When we signed Shakur, it was a little bit like, almost like looking at me thinking, not sure about you. And then I think they just get to know you. They realise your intentions. And we're straight. We're straight as an arrow, mate. We'll never let you down. We always pay you on time. And we always deliver. So, and we love boxing. And we're passionate about your career. And I think when they understand that, they start to realise this is actually a good spot for me. And I like being part of the team.
What would have happened if you had promoted Floyd?
Look, Floyd was a great self-promoter anyway. So I think together, maybe we would have clashed, because it was like a fight for the microphone. But, you know, Floyd was, I think Crawford would have been different. I think we've done a great job helping his profile out, unintentionally, but just being us.
Mayweather's involvement in cryptocurrency promotions has sparked controversy. In 2018, he and music producer DJ Khaled were charged by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, for failing to disclose payments they received for promoting initial coin offerings, ICOs. Mayweather didn't report receiving $300,000 from 3 ICO issuers, including $100,000 from Centratech, a company later charged with fraud by the SEC. Both Mayweather and Khaled settled the charges without admitting or denying the findings, with Mayweather agreeing to pay over $600,000 in penalties and interest. In a more recent incident, Mayweather promoted a new cryptocurrency token in partnership with Sorial Aurora, a figure linked to multiple celebrity-endorsed cryptocurrency scams. Blockchain investigator Zach XB pointed out Mayweather's connections to at least 3 crypto-related rug pulls, where developers abandon a project after collecting investor funds. This pattern of promoting questionable crypto ventures has raised concerns about Mayweather's possible involvement in scams, further damaging his reputation in the financial world.
Mr. I don't lose at nothing is back.
Correction, Mr. just got unbanned from scamming is back. This time, he's selling NFTs. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this is an obvious scam if you can just read the signs, but since Floyd can't read, I'm going to explain it to you all by telling you the history of Floyd Money Mayweather and crypto. Our story starts in 2018 when Floyd Mayweather was banned for 3 years from promoting securities after scamming his fans with an ICO called Centratech. He was promoting tons of these ICO scams at the time, and he also narrowly avoided an ICO fraud lawsuit for the same thing under the defense that he wasn't actually influential enough to convince people to buy the scam. And now that it's 2022, his 3-year securities ban is over, and he's back to scamming again. He's currently being sued once again for his promotion of Ethereum Max alongside Kim Kardashian, and also has gotten really into NFTs.
In early 2022, a class action lawsuit was filed against Ethereum, a cryptocurrency company, and several celebrities, including Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather Jr. The lawsuit accused them of promoting the Ethereum token, EMAC, as part of a pump and dump scheme. The claim was that their promotions artificially inflated the token's price, misleading investors into buying it at high prices, only for its value to crash soon after. Kim Kardashian came under additional scrutiny from a U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, for not disclosing the $250,000 payment she received for promoting EMAC on her Instagram in June 2021. In October 2022, she agreed to pay $1.26 million to settle the charges, which included $260,000 in disgorgement, returning the money with interest, and a $1 million penalty. As part of the settlement, Kardashian also agreed not to promote any crypto assets for the next 3 years. Mayweather's role in this case was less publicly discussed, but he was still named in the lawsuit as one of the celebrities whose promotion contributed to the scheme. This lawsuit and the resulting penalties for Kardashian highlight the growing scrutiny on celebrity endorsements in the crypto world.
A California judge has dismissed a lawsuit against reality star Kim Kardashian, boxer Floyd Mayweather, and other celebrities over their cryptocurrency endorsements. Investors in the Ethereum Max, which is not affiliated with the popular Ethereum token, filed the suit back in January. So this suit claims celebrities conspired with Ethereum Max to promote the token to boost its value so company executives could profit by selling the holdings. The judge said the lawsuit raised legitimate concerns. However, he dismissed the suit because it didn't say where, when, or even if the plaintiffs had seen these promotions.
Chael Sonnen, a former UFC fighter and analyst, has publicly questioned the financial success and authenticity of the 2017 Mayweather vs. McGregor fight. He claimed that, despite official reports, the event was not a sellout, and there were thousands of empty seats at Las Vegas's T-Mobile Arena. Sonnen alleged that he was instructed to falsely report the attendance figures, saying, "I stood on the floor of the arena and was instructed to tell the world it was sold out, and I could look and there were thousands of empty seats." Official records later confirmed that the fight did not sell out. The T-Mobile Arena, which holds about 20,500 seats for boxing, only sold around 13,094 tickets, with 137 complimentary tickets given out, bringing the actual attendance to about 14,623, more than 5,000 seats short. Before Floyd became Money Mayweather, he was already in financial trouble. Reports surfaced that he was facing jail time for unpaid taxes. To avoid prison, he reportedly borrowed $2 million just to pay off part of his debt. This wasn't the story of a smart financial genius, but rather a man on the brink of financial collapse.
Me and Eric B were at, from Eric B and Rakim, we were at the Mondrian. Floyd Mayweather was there. He had some tax issues. He was about to go to jail, but that's before Money Mayweather, that's Pretty Boy Floyd.
Got you.
He was speaking to E, he needed a couple of $1 million to stay out of jail. I called my man Neil, who I was rocking with heavy, he owns Scunty, the hair accessory company. Everybody thought I was crazy. They said, yo, loan me $2 million. I want to sign Floyd. He flew out, loaned me the $2 million, and from there on, we were in the boxing business.
The numbers don't lie. At one point, Floyd Mayweather reportedly owed $22.2 million to the IRS. For someone claiming to be the wealthiest athlete alive, that kind of tax bill raises serious questions. It suggested that his flashy lifestyle might have been more of a facade than fans had realized, possibly hiding financial struggles behind the image of untouchable wealth.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Floyd Mayweather's financial troubles and business ventures definitely raise interesting questions. On one hand, it's clear he has earned massive amounts of money throughout his boxing career, with some of the highest paydays in the sport. However, his flashy lifestyle and constant emphasis on wealth do seem to contradict some of the financial struggles he's faced, like his tax issues and allegations of unpaid debts. His business ventures, particularly in the cryptocurrency world and some of the questionable promotions, have made it harder to take his financial claims at face value. The fact that he had to borrow money to cover tax debts and is involved in legal disputes over unpaid debts points to the idea that his wealth might not be as limitless as he projects. That said, it's also possible he's genuinely wealthy, but his spending and high-risk ventures could be putting him in a precarious position. So, is his lifestyle a facade? Maybe to some extent, yes. Mayweather has definitely built a brand around being Money Mayweather, but the reality behind the scenes could be more complex. He's likely wealthy, but the way he manages, or mismanages, his wealth raises doubts about whether he's truly as financially invincible as he wants us to believe. His focus on maintaining the appearance of endless wealth could be driven by the need to keep his brand intact and continue drawing in big money deals. But as we've seen, that can be a risky game to play.